Oh my god, that's really bright. Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ezra Wolves. Or Elijah. It's Elijah, also known as Ezra Wolves. Welcome back to a journal entry. I don't know which number this is because I'm uploading these ahead on my Instagram before my YouTube. I currently don't have any uploaded on my YouTube, and that's really bad. I'm behind, like, I think 17 or 18 or 19 vlogs. I'm trying my best. I'm in the middle of rebooting my channel. I'm saving that for a different video. Anyways, today I want to talk about something. I know many people who watch my channel here for the short films or the Power Ranger stuff, Power Ranger inspired short films, but this pandemic I started getting into writing, like, a lot. And this thing, not specifically this one, but a journal has really saved my life. So I'm in the process of writing my own autobiography that I don't know if I'll ever publish. I probably will at some point later down the road, like far down the road, but probably not right now. But with my journal, I write down my notes of the day. I do my thoughts, my feelings, basically stuff. I know everyone journals differently. For me, I journal better when I'm writing my thoughts and how I feel, because I find that really hard to talk to people about. So I write it down in here, and I don't let anyone read this, but the whole reason why I'm doing this video is to show you a section, ironically, that I did write. I marked it with this yellow, what's it called? Yellow tab, and it is this. As you can see, the side is blue. This is the journal entry, and this is a memory dream entry. What I do is, if I have a dream that I want to remember, I write it down. This one happens to be about death, and it's more of a nightmare. But when it happened, I was on my way home from my family store, so I had it while being awake, which is really bizarre, although it's happened to me a few times. At the very front of the page, the non-usable page right here, I write down novel ideas, but that's really not important. The reason why I wrote this in red is because one day in the future, after I'm done the current novel project I'm on, I would love to take this, like, this little entry that I wrote about this dream, and I would like to plan out a novella or a novel based on that dream, and create a story, because I feel like that is a story that I need to tell at some point. This happens to be a story about me and my family. This dream is about me and my family. It's morbid, it's dark, it's sad, emotional. Actually, the terminology I would use to describe it is emotional wreck. And if you read it now, you'd probably think I'm insane and need help. Probably right, actually. I write a lot of murder and death. I may need help, but it's my first time doing something like this. I've written memories and dreams down before, but not like this, where I would put it in red, and I think red will be my new, what's it called? My new sorting system. If I have a memory or a dream I want to remember, I will write down on red with red ink, so that I can remember it. And at the end I put I'm writing this down so I can remember what happened, because one day in the future I want to remember this dream so I can write this dream into a story, into a book. And I found it fascinating that my first instinct for when I came home afterwards was to pull out a pen, sit down, and write this. Like, I put my bag on the ground, and I sat down with my jacket still on, and I grabbed the pen. Actually, I grabbed this pen, and I flipped to the page, the next available page, and I just started to write. And then I put a little sticky note, like one of these sticky tabs that you can get from like a dollar store or office supply store, and I put it there. And yellow will be how I know when it's a story. So I'm hoping by the time I fill up this entire book, I'll have a few other yellow tabs. I did it on my way to the store as well. Going to the store, I was listening to the audiobook for Pep Talks for Writers, which is this book. I've tried to read this book by myself. I look better if I hear it. I am a visual and auditory learner, so if I'm reading something I won't understand it. But if you would just sit down, read it over with me or to me, and then explain to me about it, I'll understand. And I found it interesting. Like, I was walking to the store listening to that book, and I think the chapter I was listening to was about just the author's, like how the author writes his novels, how if he plans it, and writes like outlines for it, he loses interest, which I actually can connect to, because for me personally, I've tried to outline my stuff for my novels, but it starts eventually feeling like a chore, where I just want to write. And how I write is I write a draft, and it's normally like a 3-paragraph draft, and then I take that and I expand on it and give it more detail. Like in this journal from Hilroy. I think this is just a general like thing you can get from a Staples. I've written and ripped out so many pages from this in the last few days with different versions of the novel I'm working on, because every time I try to think about it, I can't picture it in my head the more I write, which is weird, because when I started this process, I put a little page in the back that basically tells me what not talking points, but like what my initial plot was, which was you have two people getting harassed, and one person turns out to be a murderer. And the whole premise of the write her murder book that I'm writing is that you have the main character perspective, or the perspective of the main character, who is Noel Salvatore, telling the story from his perspective. It's kind of similarly written in the style that was used for You, with like describing things and asking questions. Like, I wrote this during the quiet time at my store when I was working Saturday, and it's basically the first part is Noel standing over something. I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to tell you, but it's standing over something. He's standing over something or someone, and he's asking the question, why didn't you stay away? And then he goes into like talking about who he is, and it would lead into how I got to where it is. So by the last chapter, or the last few chapters, it will make a full circle to where the first chapter started. And I write that more because I've planned it out and I kind of written it down a bit, but I don't detail my notes. I've tried so hard to try like the sticky note wall, and just outlining. It just doesn't really help. I learned Save the Cat. I have this fantastic novel. It's on my bookshelf, but it's a back, so I'm not gonna get it, but it's called Save the Cat Writes a Novel, and it's the novel about using the Save the Cat method that we use for film. And me, you wanna focus? Me being a film student and doing a lot of screenwriting, I sometimes use most of the time, it's a hit or miss for me. I use the Save the Cat method, so getting the book for the novel version of the book that was written, it's been helpful. It's been really, what's it called? Informative, I think it's called. And I've gotten a lot of information from it, from the few pages I've started to read about it. But just like I have a weird writing process, and I want to save that for a different video, because I feel like this has gone on way too long. Anyways, guys, I will talk to you guys in the next journal entry.